Hi, this is Tosca Goodwin again with a second in our series where we're talking to our experts at Iowa State Extension. Today I'm here with Andy Larson out at the Student Organic Farms, and we're talking about small farms and sustainable agriculture. Hi, Andy.
Hi, how you doing, Tosca?
Good. Andy, I understand that about 84% of Iowa farms are classified as small farms, but what makes a small farm sustainable?
That's an interesting question because some new data we just got from the USDA census is actually showing that now in 2007, 79% of Iowa farms are small farms. Sustainability as a concept is pretty complex, but kind of the popular way to talk about it and the simple way to talk about it is that in order to be sustainable, something has to be environmentally sound, economically viable, and socially responsible. So those three parts are referred to as the three-legged stool of sustainability. So sustainability is a little bit broader than just one particular set of practices. Sustainability can be a bigger picture of agriculture. Most people that are moving towards sustainability are integrating diversity into their farms. And it could be in a number of ways. One is a diversity in production. Let's say they're bringing livestock back into a grain operation. So there's something to do with the manure, put that on the fields, less nutrient waste, it's a more closed loop kind of system. Or they could be getting into the organic vegetables and fruits, for local consumption. That's a diversity in a production system. Beyond just production, it's also a marketing thing too. Because from a marketing perspective, farmers are exposed to a lot of risk when they're only selling into commodity markets. There's a lot of factors all over the world that affect how much they're getting paid for corn, how much they're getting paid for beans, how much they're getting paid for hogs on the Chicago Board of Trade. If you start marketing locally, if you start selling to restaurants or at farmers markets or some of these other systems where it's easier for you to predict what you're going to be able to get from week to week and from year to year, you can kind of level out some of those fluctuations that you'll often have in your income stream.
Andy, as a farmer navigating through these tough, hard economic times, what would be the appeal to move to sustainable ag?
Sustainable agriculture, or moving towards sustainability in agriculture, generally opens up some more markets for a person. It allows a farmer really to change from what is currently a price-taking situation, whatever is being offered by the elevator or the Chicago Board, and changing you into a price maker. So if you're accessing local markets at a farmer's market or something like that, you know approximately what you need to make a living and what you can charge for whatever you're raising, be it cuts of pork or heirloom tomatoes or whatever. That ability to control what you're receiving as an income is going to allow you to really have a better sense of your own personal prosperity, how you're going to be doing in a year in, year out basis, and really not exposing you to as much of that market risk that you have with the commodity market. And I think in the face of the particular economic situation that we're dealing with right now, there's going to be a lot of incentive to move to alternative agricultural practices, to growing locally and healthy food and green production and all of that kind of stuff that's starting to come online, on-farm energy, things like that.
How is Iowa State Extension helping Iowans to recognize the importance of the sustainable ag?
Iowa State's actually bringing quite a few resources to bear for people to learn more about alternative agriculture, moving towards sustainability. My position in small farm sustainability was just created within the past year, and I think that that's a really blatant indicator that this is on their radar screen. It's something they want to pay more attention to. They have the Value-Added Agriculture Program and Extension that's working with all sorts of folks that are doing really innovative, really creative, really entrepreneurial ventures in agriculture and in food and in energy. The Beginning Farmers Center is representing a need for new farmers to be coming in new kinds of production practices, that next generation of agriculturists to fulfill the desire for local foods and fresh foods and nutritious foods is something that is direly needed. We have The Leopold Center for Sustainable Agriculture collaborates with Extension all the time, funds a lot of Extension's outreach activities in the sustainable ag arena. Extension's also working with ISU Dining Services to help get more local and organic food into larger institutional markets, starting with ISU Dining, and hopefully figuring out how to do the aggregation and the logistics that are going to allow local and regional food to get out to a larger. We really want that to stay for the long term, and think it's going to be very beneficial for the rural landscape in Iowa, not only just for farmers and agricultural practitioners, but also for communities out there that want to revive that diversity, revive that vitality, and have access to local, fresh, good food.
Thanks, Andy, for your time. To learn more about small farms and sustainable agriculture, you can go to www.extension.iastate.edu/answers. You can also talk with Andy and other experts like him by using our Ask the Expert tool, or looking at posts to this blog from those experts. Thank you, cheers, and peace out.